So this is my ASSA Twin again, the one that I picked on camera with the newer style drivers, newer spools. This one, I managed to find a replacement for the one that I lost, and this has the older style spools. They make it substantially more difficult to pick. And so I'm going to try and, I've been able to do it once, I'm going to try and get it on camera. And if I can, I'll explain exactly why it makes it so much harder to pick. It has to do with the point at which the sidebar engages. Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay. Oh, let's gut it, and when I'm done gutting it, I will explain what makes it so much more difficult. I'm going to zoom out. Oops. I'm going to pull the whole lock apart, and then we'll come in for a close-up of various pieces. Now, if I don't lock it back up again, the sidebar pins will spring out all over the place. So the key actually holds them in, so I'm going to lock it back up before I gut it. Oops, dropped a master wafer. master wafer is actually 5. Want to make sure that you can see while the keys in it, these sidebar pins. And there they all are. I'll pull those out too. Right, and that other sidebar. Okay. I'm going to come down for a close-up of all the parts. Okay. There's the... Oh, I guess I can't focus quite. Sidebar, the counter milling, and the plug. All of these side pins are identical. They just have a deeper groove in the middle, and obviously the sidebar code is cut into the sidebar itself. You can see in there's a little channel for the sidebar. I got a spring hanging in there, but nothing scary is going on upstairs in the Bible. And then the real trick and the real nightmare is these very deep spools. And those are compared to the newer style, which are comparatively very shallow. And so what happens is, when you get a false set with these shallower spools, the false set is enough to put all of the weight of your tension on the sidebar, at which point it's very clear that you next need to pick the sidebar. With these, you fall into a false set while those spools are still hung up in countermilling. No matter what you do, no matter how much pressure you put on them, they do not want to give you any feedback whatsoever. And so what you end up having to do, and you saw me do this, is pick to a false set, understanding that you're hung up in countermilling. Following that, you need to pick the sidebar code. Then you need to go back to the top pins, picking those, and using the spring tension from the sidebar to rotate the plug around into and essentially at the end of it you work them like spools, but the pins are not pushing back on you. This spring tension from the sidebar is. It's very difficult to do without dropping the side pins, and so that's what makes this lock particularly difficult. And I want to thank Zio on Keypicking for writing essentially the guide to picking these. And this particular mode he calls evil mode, and I would go so far as to say it's nightmare mode. So yeah, let's see if I can get a little bit more of a close-up now that we've seen all the parts. I want to show a little bit more of a close-up of the sidebar. So you can see those shelves that are cut into the sidebar itself are what rest. They're what rest into these deeper area, the deeper middle section of the sidebar pins. Again, this one's master keyed like crazy. But it really doesn't matter. It doesn't make it any easier, because what you're really fighting is these pins getting hung up in this countermilling right here. No matter how hard you push on them. Oops. Out of focus. So yeah. And I may make another video about picking this, but probably not picking it in it, but what you're really fighting is these deep spools getting hung up in this countermilling. No amount of upward pressure will push you into any kind of counter rotation. So you just have to know that you're hung up in countermilling and work them like spools blind, using the pressure, the spring tension from the sidebar. So let's do one last close-up, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, everyone. 6-pin ASSA Twin with original old-style ASSA spools, picked and gutted. Thanks for watching.